Hey Michael, good morning, or probably actually for you, good afternoon. Hadn't had time to get back to this, but I wanted to create a second video for you to kind of affirm what we were seeing yesterday in terms of why you were getting that behavior, right? And we were able to replicate it yesterday. So we're going to start over, and we're going to create a new console app. Okay, and we're going to call it. And this time we're going to use the .NET Core. Okay, so that's a different framework than the full. Okay, so we're going to call this one Who is Michael? And we're going to call in Brazil. So we're going to say next, and we're going to go ahead and do the latest, whatever, and hit create, and that'll be better. So we started off with what we had before. Okay, now to make this a little bit faster, I kind of already cheated a little bit, so we are going to say basically what we're going to do is that, and as you can see, the name is Who is Michael, right? And you have the option to start without debugging, and we're in debug mode. So if I hit this, it's going to run just fine, right? And in this case, the .NET framework is a little bit more robust, so it actually gives you that one. So that's just Who is Michael? Hello world. Great. Now we're hitting key. It's gonna go away. Now we're just a little bit more advanced, right? So now we want to expand this out, and we're going to say something along the lines of this here. Now, I already went over the concept of string interpolation for you, so I'm cheating, and I took the stuff from the last code that I wrote for you, and I'm just going to paste it in here. Okay, so, but you see now, there's a little bit of a difference here, right? It's giving me a red because it's calling an object called Marco, right? Well, there is no object called Marco. We have to first create a class. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come here, and we're going to say add, and then we're going to say just class, because we're just doing a standard plain old CLR class, right? We're going to call this class Marco, right? And we're going to say add. Now, in this class, we're going to define the attributes of that class. Now, first, we're going to say I want this to be a public class, otherwise it gets a little bit wonky. The name is Marco, right? And that's pretty much the definition of the class. But we will need to define the variables or the attributes of Marco. Okay, so we will need to do some. So I cheated again, and I've kind of put this typed up ahead of time. And we're gonna say this, okay? But I'm gonna show you how we got there. You just do prop, and Visual Studio is cool enough to do a default property, which has a default getter and a default setter. And we're gonna put one last. We're gonna say what the heck? We'll say hobby. We'll call this hobby. Oh no. How about title? Title. Okay. And let me make that a capital. And we messed this up here, so we're going to say boom. And now, that's it. Now, we don't want people to be able to instantiate a class. All right? We don't want people to be able to instantiate a class of Marco without having certain immutable properties inherent to an instance of Marco. So we don't have to say nullable, null. On the contrary, we're not going to say nullable to any of these, but we have to do a constructor. Okay, and so Visual Studio is really cool about that. It gives you just say constructor, and it says public Marco, and then we're going to say in order to instantiate an instance of Marco, I'm going to require an integer, and we're going to say lowercase salary. If you name it the same tense, it kind of clashes. So then I'm going to say string, and I'm going to call that first name. Then I'm going to say string, right? Because our next parameter is last name or attribute, right? Then I'm going to say another string, country, right? Because this is what the IntelliSense is going to show you. Then I'm going to say string again, city, and then one more time, string, or sorry, string, pardon me, integer, age, and then we're going to say string title. Okay? Now, I have to set those values, right? Just because I got those values doesn't mean that this is just passing it into the constructor. So when I return the instance, if I don't, in here, actually set the value to the variable that was sent into the constructor call, I'll get a bunch of null values. And let me just illustrate that. So we have thank you for your assistance. Your salary will be, we're going to say, and your title will be, and we're going to say, we're going to instantiate an object called Marco here in a second, so it'll clear all these errors. But for now, we're going to live with the errors. Marco, stop. Now I know it's called title, right? It doesn't yet because we haven't installed, we haven't created that yet. But now, notice how it's already guessing like, oh, dude, I think I'm going to need the class of Marco. So I'm going to say Marco, which is the class that I want. I'm going to instantiate an instance called Marco in lowercase. Equal, I'm going to say new Marco. Okay. Then notice it's going to tell me exactly what I need, right? It's going to tell me exactly what I need to instantiate it, right? So we need, and I'm going to go ahead and cheat and grab my values because otherwise, well, heck, why not? So we're going to say, sorry. That's. Okay. So now the only one we're missing, right? It says, hey, is really title, right? And it tells you right there. There's no argument that given that corresponds with the correct parameter title. So we're going to have to say string, and we're going to say director, right? And this is giving me an error because why? What? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What are you talking about, dude? Sometimes it does stupid stuff like that. It's not. Wait. Salary, first name, last name, country, city, age, title. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I did not put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where am I? Tell me it's that. Wait. What are you talking about? I'm not giving you a string. 1, integer salary, string, first name, string, last name, string, country, string, city, string. I screwed up. I defined it, so I have to go back to the class and actually call this a string. It should actually be here in the constructor. I said string age, and that is not correct. It's integer age. Okay, so I'll go back, and I should be good. And I am. So now we will run this, and bada bing, bada boom. We will get the output desired. Okay. Now, whoa, no, we didn't. No, we did not. No, we did not. Why did we not? Okay, a little troubleshooting. So I'm gonna put a console.readline after this guy. Console.readline. So I can then put a breakpoint after it. Change this breakpoint to there. And that'll send it into the method, or into the constructor, I should say. And no, exactly. We hadn't set the values yet, so that's working exactly as we wanted it to. Sorry, that was to illustrate the point that if you don't set the value, it doesn't matter, right? So I have to come out here and say salary. So I have to come out here and say salary, and it does it for you, right? I mean, this is great, right? So first name, come on, first name, really? First name equals last name, right? Last name. I mean, it already knows what I'm going to do. I mean, look at that. Isn't that sweet? Age, title, right? Good. So now I've set those values. Okay. Not only have I received them in the constructor, but I have taken the time to say, hey, salary equals salary. You know what I'm saying? So now we're going to go back, and I'm still going to put. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a breakpoint, kind of right here, which is kind of weird, but it'll still stop it there. So we can now inspect what we have, right? So we have salary, Michael's, blah, 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 right? And this is just this instance of Michael, right? And as you can see, they all have values, right? So we go to the next. Actually, we're going to go ahead and put a breakpoint in there before we run into it. So let's go back. Where the heck? Ah, here it goes. So actually, before we go in there, we're going to put a breakpoint here so we see what we're about to pass it. So the breakpoint's not going to execute. So now we broke there. So when we come here and inspect Michael, we can now inspect Michael and see, oh, look at that. Look what we're passing to the console.write line, right? And we'll know that it's going to give us the right value. So now the black box will pop up somewhere. Here it is. And look at that. Hello, Michael. Your age is 26 today, and you live in the country of Brazil and in the city of Floripa, and your salary will be $300,000, and your title will be director. Thank you for your assistance, Mr. Vasconcelos. Boom. And that is that. I have another breakpoint there. So. All right. Hope that helps, man. Hey, take it. Don't forget. Don't work too much, man. Invest in yourself. Invest in you, and live life, man. Enjoy life. Take care of yourself.